Since finals are coming up soon, it is very important to have a good studying plan. People like me, who barely ever study, are worrying that our habits will not be enough to pass this year's AP exams. In my case, I turned to that one smart friend in the group to see if he could enlighten me on his study habits. Here's the interview.
So what do you define as studying actually?
All right. So I guess I study kind of like the homework example. Um so I guess for like each class it would kind of be like maybe or even just like for all my classes, like maybe like an hour or two like after like the scheduled school day. So I kind of start like when the day starts and then maybe like after three, like in the evenings I normally do like an extra like 2 hours or something normally.
Okay.
Also like doing homework.
Yeah, so you're saying like homework, is that homework problems or is that like reading over your homework notes, or like say a little bit more about that?
I try to I guess like understand the homework as I do it, not just kind of do it. If that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, that's a big difference than what most
Yeah.
of us do. I do not try to understand the homework when I do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
the teacher will explain it in class.
I mean, I'm far from like sitting down, looking at the book, and like looking at all the units, trying to
Okay.
remember.
That
I
makes
can't do
sense.
that.
And then like do you do anything like if you know the test is tomorrow, or any like a
Oh,
quick study
um,
session or a cheat sheet? Or I remember you used to make cheat sheets
yeah,
when we
those
were
are
able
fun.
to do that.
Yeah, not really. I should probably be a little more motivating here. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a question like you. Do you study any bit?
I mean,
I should have
oh
going back.
no, oh no, it's on me. um, yeah, I mean, I guess the main class I think of now, the reason why I was thinking about studying and how much of it is because in our math class in AP Stats, the teacher gives us a ton of optional work. He gives us almost zero homework, it's all optional. He also gives us a full review packet that's not due, but we're allowed to. He like gives it to us for free. So like, I do the review packet in the weekend before the test, which is probably more than a lot of people. Which I don't know. I mean, that's where the teacher is literally giving you the work. But in other classes, like if for a social studies class for like A push, AP Human, AP US History, um, I don't really look at the vocab. I maybe go through the vocab once on the Quizlet. It kind of depends. Maybe I read over my notes. That's about it. What are your three favorite resources for like studying? Because I would definitely, I mean, like, I like using Quizlet if I actually
Oh
need
yeah.
to, like, if it's the teacher is like, you need to know these vocab words, Quizlet is your best friend.
Oh yeah.
I don't
I
know what
do.
some other ones are.
Yeah, I've done like that Quizlet thing a lot, and I'll do like the words, play those games. Kind of fun
Mm-hmm.
way to learn some words. What else? I guess I kind of look over like notes throughout it, like throughout class. In some of my class they take notes. I'm not always the best at it, but a lot of my teachers will like give off like the daily slides, and I'll look through those.
Oh,
Um,
that's smart.
yeah, I'll kind of like look through those and kind of just try and focus on them. If that makes sense to gain
Yeah.
the information. Um, but the classes I take notes in, I'll kind of like review those, look over them before I
Hmm.
guess any finals.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for note taking?
Yeah. Was it like just this page? I forget. They taught it where you have like your like notes on the right side and like questions on the left
Oh
side.
yeah, the Cornell notes
Yeah,
or whatever.
Cornell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I take notes I guess similar to that, and then we skip on like the question part. I just don't really find them
Mm-hmm.
as useful. But I
Yeah.
kind of just like do bullet points, and then anything that leads like more important, I can just sit there and like circle while the class is
Wow.
going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of
That's
more
weird.
bold it is.
I do
Yeah.
the exact same thing. I do instead of questions, I just have topics. So whenever they give you a chapter title like Reconstruction in African American communities, you just write the title and then you have all your bullet points. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's weird that I do the exact same thing. Um,
Yeah, to me, like long topics in class, I'll just be staying there
Mhm.
highlighting the letters. And later, once most schools, oh hey, that's an
Oh.
important topic.
Yeah, I need to go back and highlight. That's a good idea. Or even circle. I mean,
Yeah,
we did that like way back in like 6th or 7th grade. We had to do that,
I
but
think.
now I don't
Yeah,
do it anymore.
yeah, I skip on like the question
Yeah.
like answer section left, but in the summary,
Hmm. Oh, you do a summary as well, or no?
no, I skip out on
Okay,
that.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
don't.
kind of honestly, that's just extra work. What do you think if somebody is really struggling, say they're getting like C's or whatever in class Z or whatever? What do you think is the best, like the quickest route to success?
I guess actually this is kind of I guess relating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I guess for me, what I found pretty useful is like in the mornings I've been working like a dining room area instead of like my desk area. So I found like
Oh.
towards the beginning of the year, I play like, games with friends or whatever. I guess to me, that area was a lot more of a when you sit in it, you don't really think of work. You kind of think of, oh, hey,
Yep.
there's this
Yep.
game.
Yep.
So I found actually just kind of like switching where I'm physically like working,
Oh, that's a good
or like
idea.
wake up in the morning like
Mm-hmm.
working in the dining room for time for a couple hours. Um, I find that just helps pretty well because then to
Wow.
me it's just like you go there, you know, it's a workspace, and yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. It reminds me of like this story that all in Vietnam, all the soldiers got addicted to heroin, but then like it was like 70% or so were addicted to heroin, and then when they went back to the US, it was like 2% were still addicted to heroin, which is like the most addictive substance. But since Vietnam wartime is so different than the United States, none of them were in the same, they were all in the dining room. They didn't
Good point.
they didn't play games.
Oh, something else I've kind of found is I guess for like a lot of people like working and studying at night. That's pretty common. I think like all
Mm-hmm.
school like even through college. But I found like if you can get yourself to like wake up early, like in the morning, like if I know I have like an essay to
Wow.
write for like English, if I can get myself to actually like when my alarm goes off to actually like get out of bed and go, um, I found like if I start like writing like an essay before like I'm normally up, I get like a cup of coffee or something. I just like I don't know if it's like a different like time of the day or something that does it, but to
Mm-hmm.
me it just like it makes the stuff click. So I guess that's kind of a strategy I found like every so often.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. That's really interesting. I've heard somewhere that you have more energy in the morning. I remember we even had math class in the morning because the teachers cared that we learned math. So they put it in the morning at like elementary school, remember? I
Oh yeah, I
think
remember.
I think Halsey, I think he talked about that. I think he talked about like they do that for the energy. I don't know if I trust the elementary school teacher for the scientific evidence. Do you think it's better knowing like specific, like when I think of math, I think formulas and procedures, versus like a broad knowledge? What do you think is like more important in the scope of the class?
For colleges, like even if I know like a topic, so let's say I was like exceptional in all the topics, but I didn't get good grades. To colleges, I get like a good recommendation for like without the GPA,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of students are going, they need students with like good GPA. It's kind of like the benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess to me, like I don't want my GPA to slip, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like the topics if I'm not interested, I kind of just go for the good grade. I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to major in those topics. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If I thought I was gonna be like getting like my degree in one of those topics, um, I mean, then I'd probably want to put like more effort into it.
No, I was just saying like I guess it's a helpful insight to go for to look for things that you're interested in the classes that you don't enjoy. You
Oh
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, I mean, for me, English has always been just. I mean, I don't think I'm that bad at it. It just takes me forever to brainstorm. But I just like, well, if you just write about something fun, then maybe it's not as hard. You know what I mean?
For me, I guess like if you know like you're taking a subject that I'm not gonna major in, like to me, like English or like APERS, I don't see myself majoring in one of those. if you like, I feel like that's more of like, I guess, like a personal choice, person by person. So like for those, I think I'd probably like work more towards like the test, because I feel like going to college, I'm not really going to use that stuff as much. I mean, probably for like standard classes, so I have to take like human geography classes and for it. Um, but I guess like I'm more interested in like the math and sciences, and for those like it's kind of like working ahead. Like if I go directly to the test each year, going into college, if I can keep working towards the test, but it's going to be just as hard. So I guess like if I enjoy doing it and I want to work ahead, if I like normally I want to know everything that's on the test if I'm going to be doing that, but also if I want to like kind of like better my understanding, if that makes sense, and more know more of like the like topics and more like of the general like knowledge of it. I feel like that's also a really good thing like going to like college, because then like when stuff like pops up, instead of having to learn like 10 formulas or something, if you already know like two of them, it just saves like a lot of time like going forward.
Yeah, that's totally. I would not have thought about that you want to have broad in the ones that you really care about and then just go straight for gold in
Yeah.
well, A in your less important classes.
Yeah,
That
I mean
that
like
is really smart.
if you're interested, I feel like any class you're interested in, like maybe like learn a bit more. But if you're not interested, like a class, I mean like try and do well in the class just so that it keeps like your GPA like up. Um, but past that, I mean like maybe try and know knowledge, because yeah, I think you still like in college or like standard class you have to take each year just to like graduate college, or get like diploma or whatever. But yeah, past that, I don't try and push too much in other classes.
I guess since we're both not the best at studying, what is one habit you would change in like your studying life? Would you like, oh, I'll do all my homework before I play any video games? Like, I don't know, maybe that's what I would do.
I could kind of look what's on a test before taking a test. I'm not good at that. Like normally, like a class, I guess like A push, he'll like put out the thing saying you're supposed to do this
Yeah.
stuff, and I don't do that. And there's normally like sections that like I know what we've learned in like the past like 2 weeks. I kind of got like the general concept, but like there's also stuff from like before that, whatever. Like I missed stuff,
Wow.
and I feel like always like looking like what's on the test is always, I guess, like kind of teaching yourself through the test. That is pretty useful.
Is there any reason, do you think, why people think you study or why you like study more than other people?
I don't know.
Like you have better focus than them or you're more organized? You're definitely pretty organized.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like how I try. That kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always try to like do well. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense? Try to try. Um, so I don't know. I guess it's kind of guess like overall what you are, because like to me, like I know I'm good at math. English, think I'm grade level, maybe a little above. I don't know, somewhere in there. But like A push and AP human geography, I'm like, I guess I'm mediocre. I mean like I get good grades in it. But, like my physical knowledge, like I feel like I'm probably pretty mediocre in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like sciences I'm probably good in. So I guess it's kind of like what my interest is.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess like they like people maybe like if you guys see me in like the topics I'm strong in, like if I'm really strong in math, and like you're in a math class with me, you're like, hey, this kid's really smart. But then you come to English class, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know what you're right. I
Mm-hmm.
just can't get it. Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, hit the subscribe and the bell. Not because I'm like trying to get a lot of subscribers or anything, just because I have a lot of other video ideas on the way, and I just don't know when those will actually come out. So it would be helpful for you to see when my next video comes out if you hit the bell or subscribe. Thanks for watching. Oh man, this is editing Ryan looking back on this, and there was a lot messed up with that recording. I mean, I really should have tested my recording setup before filming. It was such a pain to edit. I mean, I guess this era can be a learning experience. And you know what they say, when you hit rock bottom, the only direction you can go is up. I mean, that's what they say. I don't know if that will be true, but hopefully when I look back on my first videos, that will be the case.